Okay, so I have doing this is kind of blind. I just went through the feed to see what's new and saw this Lower Farms building fire cause total farm damage, and let's just see what this is about. It's trending, and let's see what happens.
Hey everybody.
Hey,
I want to preface the video by saying that what you see behind me is not mine, it's not Grant's. Um, this is Mike's building. Mike is from Juniata, which is a town close to Grant and I, and where we farm. So I would consider this guy a neighbor of ours. And recently he suffered a serious tragedy, a devastating loss. And he was awoken in the middle of the night to his
whoa,
tractor tires exploding. Um, his main shop building caught on fire. There was threat of hail, so extra equipment was packed in along with vehicles, and also this is the shop where he worked on everything. So all of his tools, um, anything he could
sad.
farm with, was in this building. And at 4 a.m., awoken to the whole thing on fire. Total loss. Nothing able to be salvaged from the buildings. I want to help this guy out. So he had, obviously, this stuff is insured. Insurance is not going to cover the costs of what it is going to take to replace all this. This is a building that was only 10 years old. It was a shop with a machine shed on the back. This is his combine, 2 tractors, corn head, bean head, planter, all
Wow.
of his tools, his wife's vehicle, his pickup truck, all absolutely just burned to the ground. Um, I would love to be able to help him in some small way by sharing his story. And then also a GoFundMe has been started for him. Harvest is quickly approaching. He is searching for equipment to use. And if I can just use you guys and my platform in some small way to help him, I'd like to. So I appreciate you guys listening to me and sharing his story with people that you know, because this stuff is really, really expensive, and it takes
Yeah.
generations to be able to afford a lot of this kind of equipment. And he's just scrambling right now to even find some sort of replacement for these things. So this is where we're at today. We are sharing Mike's story and his building fire.
That's insane.
So I know, especially on the internet, it can feel like farmers are just always getting new stuff, and it seems like a routine thing. But that is not the case.
Yeah.
There is millions of dollars of equipment in here. I don't know
Billions?
if you've looked at tractor and combine prices
Maybe she had
recently,
millions.
but this is really, really expensive stuff. This grain cart is in here, and like this stuff is just melted to the ground. It is.
How did it
This
catch
is
on
a lot of
fire though?
decisions to
I
make,
missed that
and it
part maybe.
makes you physically ill to see this kind of destruction.
This is his bean head. Look, like, this is straight up steel being warped. Look at that. This whole thing is
Whoa.
completely torched. There's his corn head, almost unrecognizable back there. And
This is a metal building. Like look at like the metal
like,
building just crumpled.
like nothing has been moved. This is how it burned and fell.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was so
you
hot it
can
like
see that it's
contracted it,
some
or
kind of like.
Look at a strip freshener
I was just
toolbar.
about to say kind of like a strip tiller type thing.
whoa.
Look at the just the melted aluminum.
That's melted aluminum that melted off of here. And like
It melted
all the
off?
bearings are seized up. There's an
Can't turn
entire
it?
sprayer under that pile of tin.
There's a combine back there.
Yeah, that's a grain cart you're looking at. Here, look at all his seed burned.
Whoa.
It's
That's bird
obviously
seed,
not
right?
the big stuff, but think about what you've seen in Grant Knife shops. There's toolboxes, there's tools, there's welders, there's just like all
His
this
lawnmower.
small
Look at
little
our,
things.
like, I know
Air
like,
compressors.
a lawnmower is not a very important tool on a farm, but man, the forklift. Look at the forklift.
Jeez.
So not only is farming a business, this is this guy's livelihood. This is how he makes money. This is what he wakes up and does every single day for a job. Farming is also a livelihood and a legacy. This is stuff that will be passed on to his son one day.
It was passed on to him too, wasn't
There's
it?
just so much more that obviously you guys have seen that goes into farming. It's not just something like you clock in, you go to an office, you come home. It's just not like that. Farming is a lifestyle, and to have this much of that lifestyle just
Gone.
taken away from
Like,
you
boom.
like that is devastating.
This is hard. This is sad.
Nails everywhere. It was a wood frame building, and it is just a wake of destruction.
I mean, you woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and this was.
It had aluminum booms, like 120-foot aluminum booms, and they're not even here. They're just piles of aluminum on the floor. Just puddles. Must have been so hot in here. Here's a grain cart, just folded. Look at that. It's like, this thing holds probably 60,000 pounds of grain when full, and just crumbled while it was empty.
Whoa.
Here's their 2 nice pickups. Here is a Dodge pickup.
That's a Dodge
You
pickup?
can still kind of see the body panels. But here is an all aluminum F-150. The metal just melted. It must have been so hot in here.
Oh my God.
Laura, you see this truck?
What truck?
It's like unrecognizable. It's crazy.
So, this is not the first burned combine I've seen.
First one I've
It's
seen.
any easier seeing a piece of equipment like this burned up. It's a John Deere 670, but you wouldn't be able to tell because there's not that much of it left.
Oh.
You see the fuel tank is in a puddle on what's left of the floor over there.
So that was a floor, but I thought that was just a regular
you wanna
dirt.
see the inner workings of
That
the
was a
combine.
floor?
There's a lot better ways. Tires.
Holy
obviously,
crap.
This man has put his life into all of this equipment. He loves farming, and it's just all in ashes
Gone.
and burnt metal. It's so sad.
Whoa.
This is drill press. Engine hoist.
All of his spare parts,
There's parts, or what used to be containers that held parts here.
oil tools, jacks, all of the little things it takes to run a farm.
Looking at the planter, and obviously it's all horrible, but I just think about the time and effort and money that Grant and I have put into our planter.
This is the same exact planter we have.
This is the planter that Grant and I have, and he had done a lot of the same upgrades that we have, and I just think about like the time and attention that we took into upgrading each individual row every year.
I gotta be honest. I need a lot more education to really understand what they're talking about as far as like, what's a canyon and, all the little stuff. But I don't need to know that to know this is millions and millions of dollars. Probably he got it generationally, from different, his parents probably passed it down and so on. And man, it's just gone. Like, what's he do from this,
And it was just completely melted.
Just melted.
That is a nice tractor.
That was his main tractor that burnt up. The investigator said it was a battery cable on that tractor that got hot and started the fire. He had it hooked up to a
battery
really nice
cable.
Batwing mower. It's just, there's nothing to even burn on a mower, and it still burned.
Oh.
Oh man, look, it's a side-by-side.
Holy cow, you're right.
I don't know what side by side is, but damn.
Look at these wrenches. Just completely discolored and warped.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all the tools.
See where the air filter used to be?
Yeah, this is just like our tractor.
Just think like this kind of thing could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
You know?
This guy just went to bed, and he woke up with all of the equipment gone.
it's really hard for farmers to ask for help. So I am asking for help on his behalf. Literally, his GoFundMe, sharing his story. So I really appreciate your time and listening to Mike's story. And I just hope that I can do him some small justice in this way and just get him back to where he was before this tragedy struck.
Hi, my name is Mike Schutte, Juniata, Nebraska, and been farming since 1990 when I graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Grew up on a farm. It's been a passion of mine all my life. And the night of July 12th, got woke up by the sounds of tires exploding and surreal sight of seeing our 11-year-old Morton building on fire. Shop was on fire.
Whoa.
And thank God nobody was hurt. We still have a house. And but the machine shed was about as full of machinery as we could get it. We had threats of storms the night before, so everything was put away. I also want to thank all my neighbors, family, friends for all their love, support, prayers. And the farming community is just awesome, and how everybody pulls together and helps each other out. And I want to thank Laura and her husband coming out and taking the time to witness this and help in any way they can. Thank you.
You did not need to thank me. So when we were going out to this guy's farm and filming him is kind of ironic timing because this doesn't happen very often, but we actually happen to have 3 big tractors on our farm in one building under the same roof. We're getting them cleaned up, serviced, ready, ramping up for harvest time.
Okay.
And just in this building, this is not counting the building, this is just the tractors that we have here. This is like, I don't want to say this in a bragging way or a show-off way, but just like so you guys have more information. This is like at least a $200,000 tractor right here.
Okay.
This is at least $150,000. The one back there is at least $400,000, and that's
dang
behind the tractor.
That's $1 million right there.
Count something that you have to have behind the tractor. So the planter that you're pulling, the grain cart. There's just so much money in farming, and the thing that happened to Mike could happen to anyone. And so it's just kind of scary to think that that could have been us, and then it's not counting all the tools that we have in here and all the extra stuff, or the things that we have out in the machine shed out there. There's just a lot that goes into farming, and it could happen to anyone. And so, I don't know. It's just a really scary thought.
I know they're not much. It doesn't look like it to a outsider person, but there is a huge difference between this tractor and that tractor. They look very similar, but so this is the tractor that Laura and I own, and my dad owns the far one and this one, but there's just so much different between tractors. Just like, I know they all have little numbers on them, and you might not know what they mean, but
I don't.
It's a huge horsepower, what the hydraulic packages are, and like,
I don't know nothing
get a lot
about
of money
that.
wrapped up in little differences. And so when someone's tractor burns up, it's just a huge pain to go find a replacement one.
Absolutely. And so another thing that Mike wanted me to mention, something that he wishes that he could just share with everyone, is especially for farmers, how important it is to understand your insurance situation. Because these things, while we do use them every year, we put hours on them, we may make upgrades to them, like adding new tires, replacing parts. You guys have seen what the used equipment market has been like, what maybe the vehicle market, that's something that's a lot more accessible to a lot of people, but these things just skyrocketed in value recently. So it's really important to understand where you're at with your insurance for not only your equipment, but also your farm site, your buildings, and things that you may be purchasing. That's something really important to stay on top of. It's not definitely not the most fun part or glamorous part of farming, but it's a really big deal because you never know when disaster like that is going to
Seriously.
It happens when you least expect it. You start to walk through a building like this, and I look at a combine that's like $500,000 $500,000. A semi-trailer,
Jeez.
depending on what you get, could be anywhere from like $50,000 to $80,000. Then there's 2 more trailers sitting back there.
And even like, so my pickup, I got a screaming deal on this thing, but like, I wouldn't even know where to start to replace it because it's just an awesome pickup. It has almost 300,000 miles on it, but like it's worth nothing compared to this stuff, but I would be lost without this.
Seriously.
And
300,000, boy, your
on my
upkeep is
head,
good.
that's another story.
50 grand here, maybe like another 60 to 80 on Draper Head. There's 2 grain carts sitting back there. And again, like I don't want to say any of this in like a bragging way. It has taken generations of farming the same ground to get to where the farm is today. Grant is a 6th generation farmer. I'm a 5th generation farmer. So like this stuff didn't just accumulate overnight. It wasn't like one day the farm just decided to go out and buy all this new equipment. This took years of saving and careful planning to be able to purchase all of this stuff. So Mike did have insurance, but I think at this point he's going to be out at least $500,000 out of his own pocket. And as you can see, like it doesn't take that long to rack up that kind of a bill. So just coming from
So if $500,000 comes out of his pocket, what is that? Barely a tractor or 2, maybe a tractor, maybe 2 tractors in a pickup. Like I don't know. I'm speaking pure ignorance right now. I don't know anything about farming. I'm just throwing shit out there. But wow, it just tells you how much they got to go through, man.
a situation like that and then coming back home and just sitting down and looking at what we have, I consider Grant and I to be so incredibly blessed and are just really, really fortunate to be in the situation that we are. And we fully realize and appreciate that. Having the opportunity to share stories like Mike's really reminds me that the world is a lot smaller than you think it is, but also reminds me of the opportunity I have with this platform to not only share stories about my experiences with agriculture, but really just have the opportunity to help other people out. So if you have the opportunity, please check out his GoFundMe, donate, help him cover that incredible loss that he suffered, or even just share his story. I hope that today's video has given you just a bigger view into modern day agriculture, what it takes to farm, how far technology and equipment has come in the past couple years, what it costs to be a farmer, and also just kind of what losses you can suffer. I think I'll leave it with
I will have all that down below. I typically take, the description of the video I react to, and I post it in my description. So I'm assuming that her GoFundMe information will be down at the bottom in my description. You can click on that if you need to help this brother out, help this guy out. So, but in the meanwhile, yeah, thanks for checking out the review. And again, I didn't know what to expect when it came to this reaction. I just saw something. I was like, screw it. I just do basically like a blind reaction to it to see what would happen. I'm pleasantly surprised. This actually turned to be a real touching story. May do more of this, but you guys let me know what I should do in the future. Thank you.